And away we go.
Jumping ahead a little bit of what I wanted to talk about, that kind of takes us into the trauma recovery coaching, which my listeners know that I'm a trauma recovery coach, and I've talked about it with Dr. Paulette Bethel, that she's the one that urged me to get into it. Um, but there's something special on board for the MPE Friends for the fellowship, and do you want to share a little bit of that?
Um, yes, the fellowship has partnered with the International Association of Trauma Recovery Coaching, the program that we are using that we're certified by, and Paulette Bethel has been certified by, and that I am also in the process of being certified by. We have found that there's a real serious need in the mental health community for proper training for NPE trauma. And we have partnered with this organization to provide a trauma recovery coaching program that specializes in NPE trauma. We hope to have it completely rolled out by the end of this year, and people who will receive that training will be NPE-TRC after their name, which signifies that they are trauma recovery coaches that are specializing in NPE trauma. I think this is a really important tool that is needed in the mental health community. One thing I've learned is that there are a lot of people who are already much further advanced in the mental health training as psychiatrists, psychologists, family therapists, family counselors, who are eager to be involved in this training so that they can help people in our community. So the fellowship is very excited about this. We are working very closely with the people who have put together this program, and making sure that all of the important elements are touched on, and that it is a program that is focused on healing families. It's very important to us that we not only help the NPE find their peace again, which is the main goal, but it's more than that. If they can't find their peace completely unless they also are able to give that same amount of support to the people who are impacted by their NPE discovery, their siblings, their parents, their children, their cousins, their coworkers, whoever wants to learn more about what they can do to help a family that's going through this. I'm just very excited and very proud of this program. I think it's a really important step towards recognizing a very valid trauma that has gone ignored for many, many, many years.
Yeah, and the reason I skipped ahead was to come back to that fact that this is a traumatic event. I think, when I first discovered this, I have a friend, a very good friend. I can count on him for anything. The first thing he said to me, he said, "Well, your dad is still your dad, so I don't understand what the big deal is," and
Mm-hmm.
and I say that because he's outside. He can't comprehend what I'm going through.
Right.
But we know we now have a community of 7,000 people. This is very real. This is very traumatic. It is a negative. I shouldn't say it's a negative defining moment, because defining moments become what we make them ultimately. But the impact of this is immediately traumatic, and
Yes.
and I mean, we really need people to understand that. And I from a basis that even new people coming into the group, or whoever, if someone's listening who isn't part of the group, or someone's listening who knows someone who's going through this, to help them better understand that it's a normal response to an abnormal situation, that whatever you're feeling is validated because of the unnavigated terrain that you find yourself in. And that's why the support with the group, with the MPE Friends, is so important. And the trauma recovery coaching is going to be so important for for the MPEs. I think it's amazing that you're doing this, and I'm excited to be a part of it. But more than that, I just want people to know that it's okay that you're dealing with this the way you're dealing with it, to seek out other people. And I
Right.
think most of the people in the group have found, I know for me, when I came into the group, um, it had been, it's all a blur. It could have been 3 months or 3 days. I don't know how long it had been, but my wife found a small blurb in the newspaper. I wish I would have kept it for you, but, and she said, maybe you should check this out. And I was sitting on the couch. I said, okay. And once I got into the group, there's a process, a vetting process to get in for obvious reasons. Once I got in, I think at that time there were 320 people in the group or something. I don't know. And we're now what, 7,200?
Almost 7,300. Yeah.
That's amazing. It's amazing. And I'm coming up on it's my 2-year anniversary. I don't know. Time's getting away from me. But I immediately found I was all alone. I was isolated. I thought I was the only person in the world who had just discovered this whole thing. And I came into a group where there was automatically, at that time, I was like, wow, there are 300 people in here that are going through the same thing. And now it's, wow, there are 7,300 people in here that are going through the same thing. And that in itself was unbelievably therapeutic. I didn't know
Yes.
any of these people, but I felt supported because we were all in the same boat.
It validates us when you find out that there are other people who are normal people who have normal jobs and normal responsibilities, and they are not lunatics, and they are not the scrunge of society or whatever. And these are people you pass in the grocery store or at church, and then you realize, I'm not crazy, I'm not a freak, I'm just as normal as everybody else, and it's happening in all these other families too. So it's a huge comforting validation. I find that too. Every time I go, it takes my breath away when I look at the numbers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I still love reading people's. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, you made me think of something when you were talking just a minute ago that I wanted to share. Our group had only been in existence maybe a month or less. We didn't have very many members at that time. Maybe, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe 100. I remember one day one of the members posted one question, and the question was, is it okay to be angry? And I read that, and I don't cry easily, but when I saw that question, I just burst into tears when I saw it, because I thought, oh my gosh, we don't even know if it's okay for us to feel the emotions we're feeling.
That's right. That's right.
It's okay for us to feel the way we're feeling.
There's no playbook. There's no playbook.
Right. There's nothing to compare it to. There's no other thing in our childhood, oh yeah, I remember somebody else that went through that. Like, for example, when I said that about a teenage girl being pregnant, that may be traumatic and upsetting for a family, but they can immediately relate to, well, that happened in the Smith family, or that happened in the Johnson family, and they turned out okay. We didn't have anything like that. We didn't know anyone. So we didn't know that it was okay to feel angry or to feel hurt or to feel upset or to feel confused. I know those first few days of my emotions being all over the place, I was thinking, I'm making much too much out of this. I probably shouldn't be making so much out of this. And then I go, but it hurts. It really hurts. And I don't understand, and I need to understand. And it wasn't until the group was created and more people came in that I was feeling more validated that, yeah, I had every right to feel the way I feel. Everyone else is feeling this too now.
That's right. Yeah, that's a great point. And when I said a minute ago that we don't have a playbook, that's exactly what, with the trauma recovery coaching, that's exactly what you're trying to create, is some type of a playbook and additional resources for people to seek out assistance in their own personal healing, because this is a journey. I had one of our people the other day reach out to me, and she said, when is this going to end? And she told me a story about her mother and kind of that whole thing and the family that involves her MPE status. And I just told her, I said, it's not going to end. I mean, this is your life. This is the only thing you can do is develop better tools to handle these situations and to slowly change how you perceive things and how you interact with what's going on. And I think that's important for people to know. And that's what the trauma recovery coaching is going to be designed to do, to offer more support.